Hello, I'm Phil Lenahan of The Better Part, and welcome to today's program. It's a celebration of the holidays, and we'll bring you the joy of music into your homes. Please stay tuned. Our program today is a musical treat. We have musicians coming down from the Sunnyvale Senior Center to play some Christmas carols for us. And I'm sitting here with Bev, their leader. Welcome to the program, and welcome, and thank you for bringing down all these musicians. But we have a couple of questions I'd like to, discuss with you. How did you get into playing the ukulele?
Well, Phil, it goes back almost a century.
Oh, wow.
In 2 months, it's going to be 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Roaring Twenties came in
Mm-hmm.
100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was a flapper in the Roaring Twenties. She had her ukulele. She had this great voice. And she really knew how to put over a song. And my father played the harmonica, which was another popular instrument in those days. So I come from a musical family, you might say. And when my sister and I came along in the 30s, why, we learned a few chords from my mother, and whatever time we went to the beach, my mother would take a ukulele, and she'd draw a huge crowd at the blanket, singing out all her songs from the 20s. And I just idolized her. I thought she was fantastic, and she was a great inspiration to me.
So you grew up in a house full of music?
Definitely a house full of music. We had the opera on Saturdays. She got us a piano, and that was a fantastic day, getting that piano. It was a huge upright, very ornate, lots of wood, big thick pieces of wood. And they couldn't get the piano up the hall stairway to our third floor apartment, so they had to take out our big picture window in the living room and haul the thing up with ropes and pulleys. And I was 7 years old, and when I saw that thing coming through the window, it was the best day of my life, It was very exciting.
I've seen clips of that in the movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hoisting up the pianos and pushing them in through the windows.
Just amazing how they did it.
Did you learn to play on that piano?
Well, right the same day. My mother sat down after the piano got in place, and she knew 2 songs on the piano. She only knew 3 chords on the ukulele, and she played all her songs with 3 chords.
Mm-hmm.
But on the piano, she knew 2 songs, which we learned immediately. Chopsticks, of course.
Yes.
And the other one was da 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 da, that little duet that people love to play.
Mm-hmm.
So we were well on our way. We took classical piano lessons, my sister and I, for 5 years. And we also bought sheet music of all the popular songs that were going on, and we'd sit and play and harmonize at the piano. So it was a wonderful musical life. Yeah, I tell you.
Tell us about this ukulele, which I'm very envious of.
What
brand is it?
This is my baby, right? Well, I tell you, I didn't know when I bought it that it was going to be a family heirloom.
Mm-hmm.
It was on one of my early visits to Hawaii in the early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a kamaka, I should say. And it's got the kamaka signature up there. It's all koa wood. It's a beautiful finish. Has a gorgeous tone, and it's just the baby of the family.
I'll give you $100 for it. I'll give you $100 for it.
I'm afraid you're not there.
Not even
if
close.
This went on auction, and maybe in 20 more years, this could be on auction for God only knows how much.
I know. They're going roughly now for about $1,000.
Yeah, I think so.
And that one is such beautiful shape.
And when I found out the price when I attended a Hawaiian Music Festival a few years back, I didn't realize I got a good case for it to protect it.
Yes, very
Same
nice.
strings. The only thing I had to do was tighten this little thing up here to keep it
the tuner.
in tune.
Well, how did the group get started?
Oh, the group got started, well, I tell you, with my experience with choral groups. Ever since high school, I was in every choral group I could find. And in the 60s, I had a little stint for a couple of years with the West Bay Opera. So I had a little operatic voice there. And then other choral groups all the way around. My last choral group that I retired from was Schola Cantorum, quite a famous group in our Bay Area.
I know them.
And I was with them for 22 years.
Wow.
So at that time, and I had just stopped, I just retired from teaching high school art and English, and at the same time I was studying voice at San Jose State, and just having a heck of a time singing most of the time. And I decided to get very active with the senior clubs. And the first one was the Cupertino ukulele group, and I sang with them for a few years. Then I took and studied Tai Chi in the Sunnyvale Senior Center, and then eventually started teaching Tai Chi. And when I wasn't singing in a choral group at that time, I realized I need to get back in some kind of choral group. And I thought, this is a good time to start a ukulele group in the Sunnyvale Center. So I wrote up a proposal, it was accepted, and we were on our way. We've been active for 7 years now.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, had a lot of fun.
You did tell me that you had to go in the back of your closet to dig out your ukulele.
Well, right, it was hidden, and the only time I played it was when we'd come back from a Hawaiian vacation. You know, you get all charged up,
Yes.
and you play for about a month.
Yes.
And then it goes back into the closet. So this brought it out, and I'm thrilled to death that we meet twice a month. And it's a drop-in. The members, there's no charge for and a very small charge for a non-member. So we get people here and there. We even get people who are from out of town who spend, say, a month or two with their relatives here. They go back home and overseas, wherever they live, and they come back the next year and visit us. So it's really a great group that's it's very social. We have a lot of fun. And we all have this love of music and song.
Music is fun.
Yes, it is.
Last
It's
question.
uplifting.
Last question is: how do you consider music impacting mental health and your ability to keep your memory sharp?
I really think it's very important. If you're ever depressed, just hum a little tune, and even that will cheer you up. It's really important that people keep singing, keep using their instruments, because it's going to increase your memory, help your focus and concentration, and it's it uplifts your spirit.
Well, as a parting thought, I said everybody should get a ukulele.
It's the easiest instrument to learn.
It is. It's simple, wonderful, and it's fun.
It's a cute little baby, isn't it?
Okay, well, I think it's time to fill up these shares with the wonderful musicians. So thank you for coming. And we'll see you in a few seconds when we set up the mics for the rest of the group. And thanks for bringing them here.
And thank you, Phil, for inviting us.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome to our Christmas holiday celebration. We're the Sunnyvale Jammers from the Sunnyvale Senior Center. We're here to enjoy our love of song and music with you. And now I'd like to introduce our musicians. Mike, Janet, Ruby, Amy, Grace, Fran, Abby, and I'm Bev. Now we're going to decorate our hall, and then we're going to greet our guests. Fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la. There the halls with crowns of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Roll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. thinking of going up to the snow country during this holiday season, you might want to try to hitch a ride on a one-horse open sleigh.
What'd you do?
Dashing through
The snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon this merry bride was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, his fortune seemed as large. We got into a drifting band, and then we got upside. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Well, Amy's going to introduce us to Santa's flying helpers, and of course his favorite superhero.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Dapper and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw him, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. You're gonna do history.
Well, Abby and Fran will tell us how Christmas is celebrated in the land where palm trees sway.
Christmas Day, passing the island, greeting Daddy, green and bright, the sunshine bright day in autumn, stars at night. Everything came out carries on its way to say Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas, a Merry, Merry Christmas to you.
Well, now Ruby's going to paint a lovely palette of colors depicting Christmas Eve.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you hear silver bells, silver bells.
It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, ring-a-ling, hear them ring, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Strings of street lights, even stoplights, linger bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with the treasures. Hear the snow crunch, see the cracks bunch. This is Santa's big scene, and above all the bustle you hear silver bells, silver bells, silver bells,
Silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city.
ring-a-ling,
Ring-a-ling,
hear them ring,
hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
soon it will be Christmas Day.
Well, in the early 40s, way back when, two young musicians got together and decided to write a little Christmas song, and they changed the whole sound of Christmas carols to a Christmas ballad. Now, this song went on to win fame and fortune for the young man and became a classic. Now, also, that one of the musicians became a very famous jazz singer and was given the very lovingly nickname of the Velvet Fog. So Mike and I are going to do the Christmas song by Mel Torme, The Velvet Fog, and Robert Wells. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at his nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's carried lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said Many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks, Mike.
Holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and bright, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds wait at the side, glory streams from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born, Christ the Savior is born.
Now for a rousing Feliz Navidad with Grace and Fran.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad.
Glad you put together this holiday celebration. Thank you, Cupertino Group, for inviting us. And we want to wish you all a very happy, joyous Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Feliz Navidad, prospero año felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
We would like to thank this great band of musicians that came down from the Sunnyvale Senior Center. They're called the Sunnyvale Jammers, to bring joy into our program and I hope joy into your life. We can also be seen on YouTube and Roku. Many of our programs are there, so just you dial up, see some of the older ones. So we'll see you next week on The Better Part.